Gratitude for shielding me, protecting my home, protecting the messages, Ashe. Rich rising, y'all. Rich rising. Thank you for liking the live. Repost the live for me, please. Happy Wednesday. I think today's Wednesday. Yeah. Thank you for reposting, Cindy. Hey, Fancy, how's it going? Happy Wednesday. Rich rising, divine rising. Rich rising. This is my daily tea blend for like balancing hormones and such. I drink that every morning. It is, what's in there? Podarco, nettle, hibiscus, calendula. I can't remember what else. But hormones pretty much are connected to your stress levels. For the women, pH balance, you know, all of that type of things, okay? Emotions. So it's definitely something that keeps me balanced. And I drink it in the mornings. On an empty stomach. I'll start posting more of my tea blends. I've kind of been posting some of them a lot lately, or not really a lot, but a couple of times I post them, but yeah. I love a good tea. So I'm not going to start in my decks because my decks are doing a little bit of a deep cleanse right now. So I'll allow that to kind of cleanse its way out. For now, oh, all right, let that. Spirit wants me to start with my amethyst anyways today. There's some channeled messages. Someone recently had Longhorn Steakhouse. Longhorn Steakhouse is significant. What messages need to come through right now for the collective at this time, Ashe? I'm hearing honey bunches of oats and Trix cereal is significant also as well. Waffle House is significant also as well as what I'm picking up on. McDonald's flapjacks or pancakes is significant also as well. With a hash brown and orange juice. Spangles is significant also as well as what I'm picking up on. Spangles. Someone's name is Josephine. Josie, you may call him Josie, but Josephine is significant. Someone had a best friend that passed over. Or a friend that you was really close to that passed over. They're significant. It's a woman. Archangel Gabriel is significant also as well as what I'm picking up on. Archangel Gabriel is bringing forth community surrounding your skills and mastery also as well. So if you may have been getting downloads or just kind of feeling a little bit of spark of creativity, this is your angels. You're getting angelic support from Archangel. I'm hearing Archangel Uriel in regards to your finances, and Archangel Gabriel also as well is coming through. There's certain things that they are relaying in regards to your skills. So if you've been kind of feeling like more of your skills or just kind of wanting to tap back into your skills, that is Archangel Archangel Gabriel that's assisting you with that. I'm hearing also Archangel Raphael. They're showing me the color green. So that's the healing angel also. So they're maybe assisting you in healing certain energies. Could be, opening your heart space also as well. So some of you could be in a space to where you've been kind of crying lately, or just kind of feeling a little bit more, I'm hearing softer around the edges. Because I'm picking up on someone who may have been a little bit rough around the edges for a while. It's kind of just like closed off in a sense. And it's like there's certain versions of you that's kind of opening up here. This has to do with certain things that you may be kind of just kind of realizing also as well. They gave me the message of accountability for today's message also as well for the live. So some of you could just be, kind of turning your face inward instead of really kind of pointing that finger and taking accountability also as well here. So some of you could have been looking for that energy of someone's coming to save me type of energy, or just certain things in regards to being in that victim mindset of this happened to me, this happened to me, these situations, this is my circumstance. Well, it's only because I'm in this situation. If I wasn't in this situation, then it would be different, and blah 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 blah. Okay, so it's like you may have just kind of sat with yourself to where it's like, let me go ahead and just take accountability. Let me just go ahead and take the initiative of what my part is. So what part did you play in this, whatever it may be? Okay, for some of you, it may be a relationship, or just relationships in general that you attract, that you are taking some sort of accountability with. Okay. There's like certain outcomes that you have been receiving that has not really been aligned with where the direction you're wanting to go. And I'm picking up on the energy to where there's certain habits and things that you may be kind of used to doing, that you've kind of been used to doing for some time, that you maybe kind of laying to rest, or just kind of cutting back in a sense here also as well. I'm hearing Permission by Ro James. That song could be significant. Permission, with your permission. I just want to spend a little time with you. Permission, Ro James. What I'm picking up on also with this energy, permission, some of you may be getting that permission of the okay, like the green light type of energy. Yeah, because they're also giving me that song, going on and give me that green light. So some of you may be in a space to where, because they're also showing me is the stoplights. So some of you could have been someone recently ran a stoplight, or it like changed. There may have been a cop that was kind of on the corner also, as well as what I'm seeing, but they didn't pull you over. But some of you are getting permission for the green light, also as well. So that's why certain things in regards to your energy is opening up at this time. Because like I said, there may have been that kind of stagnancy energy. They're starting to show me some water kind of move now. So this may be the energy to where you're kind of in this energy of flow now. Okay, so certain doors are about to start opening, certain things are about to start opening up here, certain things are about to start feeling a little bit more at ease also as well. Not so heavy is what I'm picking up on. Some of you recently let go of some certain people. I'm picking up on someone in particular that let go 2 people here. Or you just kind of drew back from 2 people in particular. That was a good move for you to do at this time. You may notice that your energy has felt lighter ever since. Like literally it just kind of clicked also as well. Here's what I'm picking up on. So it just kind of clicked. Someone has like a black tourmaline or a black crystal, and aventurine also is what I'm picking up on. So that is like a green crystal. You may want to tap into that crystal. They're telling me to look up aventurine real quick. Rich rising, y'all. All right, so this crystal aventurine, working with the color green also as well, will help you with that prosperity and good fortune. Okay, so that helps with that abundance. It attracts opportunities and fosters creativity and innovation. Okay, so some of you may need to work with that crystal. Aventurine also is connected with Cancer, Taurus, and Libra. Sometimes also Aries and Aquarius as well. So some of you that are Cancer, Taurus, Libra, and Aries and Aquarius, this may be part of your message, is working with the color green. Working with Aventurine also as well, crystal, if you have it, if you are drawn to go get it, get it, whatever case may be. Even wearing one of these little bracelets also as well, that is green. 1111 as I look up. So 1111 is very significant at this time. That also, that aligns with the heart chakra that I was picking up on. Because green aventurine helps you with your heart chakra as well, or just kind of working with the color green helps you with your heart space also as well. So like I said, some of you may be kind of open in your space. Happy birthday, Aquariuses. It's y'all's time. All right, it's our time. Happy birthday. I'll be putting your message out probably today. Okay. But yeah, so working with the color green is very significant at this time. Okay. Even kind of envisioning yourself in a green bubble is what you can do. And like I said, wearing the color green is significant also as well at this time. So certain things are about to really kind of start opening up. But yeah, so some of you could be seeing 1111 at this time. I'm picking up on 1010 and 1212 also as well. What they're telling me in regards to 1111 is there's a particular wish that's being granted here. But some of you is kind of integration in a sense here. To where certain things are opening up here for you. But it's going to be kind of like the momentum of over time in a sense here. Okay. So don't have any expectations of certain things going like super fast. 111 is significant, and 555 also is significant, and 1234 is significant. So don't have any expectations on kind of counting the clock in a sense is what I'm picking up on. So it's like, don't count the clock. Allow the manifestations to kind of integrate in a sense to where, the things will flow the way it needs to flow. What I'm really just picking up on is just your focus is to stay in alignment at this time. Just a focus on alignment. Some of you may want to tap in with the labradorite crystal also as well. This also helps with grounding your energy. Okay, some of you, if you are, pretty tapped in with your crown chakra, it helps you stay grounded. Also, it helps shield you from psychic attacks also as well. It's protective of your third eye and your crown. It's my favorite crystal. This is one of my favorite crystals. You have all the crystals I mentioned. Yes. Yeah, but this is labradorite's my favorite crystal. Labradorite, clear quartz, just because they definitely are, like clear quartz is the all around crystal. To where it's like it helps with all of your chakras, helps with clearing and cleansing your energy of any negative energy also as well. But yeah, so that's really one of my favorites also as well. And pyrite. So pyrite's one of my favorites too. Pyrite is actually a crystal that was used a lot during what's it called? Egyptian times. So that's why I was really called to that pyrite crystals, because it was used during Egypt a lot. Yeah, that fool's gold. Aries is heavily significant right now is what I'm picking up on. There's something significant about Aries. They're saying your grandmother is significant. So you have a grandmother that's protecting you at this time. You have her on your altar. She's saying something about greens or some type of eating greens. So that's another thing, you know, eating certain foods also as well. Some of you may want to tap in with eating like, you know, kiwi, or just eating a lot of greens in general, or like a green smoothie, also as well as what I'm picking up on. I just heard Uncle Fred. So an Uncle Fred could be significant. All right, let's see what's going on. Yeah, some of you are definitely getting watched over at this time. Okay, you're being protected. Also as well, it's rebalancing here also as well. They're saying something about recalibration. They're bringing up something in regards to the Matrix movie. So some of you may need to take some time to watch the Matrix movie at this time. It's going to unlock something within you. There's something in particular that that is going to provide an answer for you, okay? Certain movies that you're getting drawn to at this time. My name, Neo, nickname. Wow, that's crazy. So some of you are getting drawn to certain movies at this time, or certain TV shows. And there's a message in those message in the message, okay? So there's a message in the movies or message in the show is what I'm picking up on. So there's a message in some of these movies. Someone used to watch Hey Arnold a lot when they was a child, also as well as what I'm picking up on. Someone needs to go ahead and watch, I'm hearing Annie. So Annie is significant also as well, the movie Annie. Tomorrow can be significant because now they're saying tomorrow, I love ya, tomorrow, you're only a day away. What was that other thing that I said? I think I said Hey Arnold, Annie. Hey Arnold, Annie. Teletubbies is significant. So what I'm picking up on is childhood wounds, okay? Power Rangers also as well. Someone was really into Power Rangers as a child. I'm seeing the blue Power Ranger in particular. You as the blue Power Ranger, you had also the they're showing me the bedding. So you may have had like they're showing me the little sleepover mat also as well. So you may have had, what are those little sleepover mats called? What is those little sleepover mats called? Now let's go. A sleeping bag? Yeah, sleeping bag. So I'm seeing a sleeping bag, a Power Ranger sleeping bag here. But someone was very much into being the blue Power Ranger. So it's like you kind of had like a little bit of a obsession with it. So you may have been the blue Power Ranger for Halloween. They're showing me your little sleeping bag also as well. And they're showing me your bed set. Someone was the yellow one also as well. Someone was significant about someone being the yellow Power Ranger. They're saying something about Dragon Tails also as well. Dragon Tails, they had crystals in that show for for dragon tails, they would find like little crystals. They're showing me Spyro also as well. So Spyro is very significant, the game Spyro, and Donkey Kong. So someone was, something is significant about your childhood at this time, tapping in with your inner child. Someone's a 90s baby. They're showing me Rugrats also as well. So it's very much giving nostalgia type of energy. Very much giving nostalgia. Okay, so this may be something to where some of you are about to start picking up on more energy surrounding your inner child. Okay, this is where that creativity is kind of coming from, to where it's like you're about to start creating more. Some of you might have a purge also as well in regards to crying. Something in regards to when you do watch these little shows, it is going to trigger a memory also as well. So I'm picking up on a dream here also as well. So it's like, so when you tap into those little shows, they're telling me to tap into the show. So look at some sort of movie here, okay, or a show that you used to watch when you was a kid. Okay, there's a download that you're going to get, or some sort of dream surrounding a memory. So for some of you that don't really remember your childhood, or just it's kind of you know, conspiracy in a sense, those memories are going to start coming back when you start watching these shows. Okay, certain things, it's going to trigger something in your brain. Okay, for some of you, it may be kind of emotional. Okay, when you do tap into these shows, it's going to be a little bit emotional. All right, there's certain things that you're going to remember, a certain emptiness also as well as what you're going to kind of feel, but don't let that stop you in a sense here, because it's part of your integration, it's part of your growth here. So because some of you are also getting prepared, these are the ones that I'm talking to that doesn't have a child right now. Some of you are getting prepared for bringing in a child within the next 1 to 3 years in a sense here. Okay, and so this is something that's going to help your inner child so that you can parent, you know, the way that you're meant to parent in a sense here. Okay, it's a certain wound that needs to recalibrate is what they're showing me, like the DNA. So it's like a certain type of wound, you know, or recalibration of the DNA that needs to be kind of cleansed in a sense, you know, before you birth this child or before you have this child, for my masculines. Okay, because I'm picking up on like a father wound here, of a father that may have kind of been in your life, but it's like they didn't necessarily fully accept you for who you was meant to be in a sense, or who you are. So it's kind of like one of those things to where you may have followed under your father's footsteps, and this is something to where it kind of aligns with the rejection that, you know, you may feel in a sense. So you may feel kind of rejected from your father in a sense, but it's like you may not necessarily see it that way, but it's like internally the child version in you is rejected. Okay, is what I'm picking up on, because it's like, you know, when for instance, there's a particular time in my life when because my childhood's very foggy also as well. So it's like, when I think about a particular time in my childhood when I felt rejected by my dad, and I remember this so vividly. There was a time that my mom drove us to my dad's house to drop us off. And so there was times where my dad would always be like, oh, you know, I'm gonna come get you guys, or whatever the case may be, or, you know, I'm coming, you know, whatever the case may be. All right. You're going to spend time with me, blah, blah, blah. So I remember I literally remember us in the car and my mom driving and my dad outside in the yard. And so my dad was always the one that would act all goofy, you know, he'd be on some goofy type of stuff. And my mom ended up start cussing him out because we wasn't able to go with my dad in a sense here. And so I remember crying and being upset because I thought I was being dropped off, but we wasn't end up being dropped off. So I ended up talking to my mom about that, maybe like last year. And she mentioned and said that was around the time that her father had passed away. And she was really upset because she needed him to watch us or take care of us. So and so right now I don't even talk to my dad. The bad thing about that was the abandonment wound, to where I felt very abandoned in a sense. Yeah, these emotions are coming up right now for me. So someone could also, there may be certain things in regards to certain memories that will pop up, and it's going to be kind of hurtful, okay? And it's like, it may be something that you kind of didn't really realize that kind of hurt your heart in a space, also as well. That's that inner child healing, okay? So that's something that may come up that may, and I'm hearing spiritual bypassing. So, don't bypass that. Okay. Don't bypass that energy. Allow yourself to feel your emotions and, allow it to kind of, flow through. Okay. Because whatever that is, that's going to help you heal. Thank you, Spirit. I received this message. Give me a moment, y'all. I'll be back in a second. Let me just regulate my emotions. Thank you, y'all. Thank you. Whew. Okay. Spirit be setting me up sometimes, y'all. I swear they do. But there's something different about having to grieve a parent, and they're not passed away. I feel like that's something that is like really tough. I've been around a lot of people that have lost their parents at a young age. And I just never was able to imagine that for the longest. And a lot of them was, those that have lost their mom. And so I was around a lot of women, and just people, men also as well, that like one of my exes, he lost his mom while he was in high school. So his sister I was very close with also as well. So she didn't necessarily have her mom. Then, there was another, woman that I was, cool with, that she lost her mom. Then there was another friend that I had that I was close to that lost her mom. But a lot of people that I was around have like didn't have their parents at 30 years old. And so I never like I really kind of it always hit my heart in this heart space of not being able to have that parent, and just be able to call that parent, because this was the time when I was like calling my parents all the time, still in my 20s, like 28 type of energy, very close to my parents, very call my parents for any type of advisement and such. And so I was like, it sucks to not have that parent, around, especially the mom, because that mom energy is so strong. And I still would notice how people would grieve their parents like so strongly. And so that always like really hurt my heart space, to see that. So it's like, now I haven't talked to my dad in, about a year now, and I don't plan to talk to him because I have to cut him off. But and I just recently had a dream also as well about him. So it's like, I've been grieving that situation, but it's like I knew it hasn't really hit me yet, in a space to where I'm really like, damn, like I'm really not going to be able to really, talk to my dad anymore, type of energy. And so it's like, that's really tough, because it's like your parent is still here, but you're grieving your parent. And it's like, and that's really tough for me, because it's like, I've always been a daddy's girl. So it's like, it's one of those things to where, I don't know, it's just really tough to navigate, and it's like, and I think sometimes I kind of ignore it, in a sense to where I kind of don't necessarily, I kind of just, internalize it in a sense, or like intellectualize it to where my feelings aren't necessarily attached to it sometimes, because I think that's more of me protecting myself. So sometimes, like I said, spirit will set me up in a sense to where I'm able to have this release when it's time for me to have the release. So it's like, you won't ever see me, apologize about crying on live. I'm never going to apologize about it. Like, I'll tell you that, just give me some time, but I'm never going to apologize about the raw, true emotions that I'm feeling at that time. It helps me, it cleanses me, and it's something to where, every time after I cry, I end up being even better, like even better. I'm telling you, because it's like, it's a cleanse. So it's like, my channel gets clearer, my mind is clearer, and it's like, sometimes you just got to allow the emotions to flow. And it's like holding yourself back and holding things up is uncomfortable. You can even feel it like in your heart space, and you can feel it in your throat. So it's like me holding back those tears. It's like, I feel it in my chest. I feel it in my throat type of energy, because your throat gets tight, because it's like, it's aligning with your connection with spirit. So when you're crying, that heart space is in the middle of your lower chakras, and it's in the middle of your upper chakras. So if you're in a space to where you don't allow yourself to receive, or you don't allow yourself to emotionally release, it's blocking you from your upper chakra. So that's blocking you from your connection with divine spirit. So, especially for you men, when you men are not crying and you're not releasing your energy, you wonder why you're so blocked off from your energy. It's because you aren't necessarily releasing your energy. When you look at the feminine is very much connected with divine source. We have an automatic divine source. We carry the portal also as well. So, I'll be talking about this also next month in regards to emotions. So especially for Black men, with emotions is connected to your prostate. So, that is also connected to your creativity. So if you feel off balance to where you're not feeling your creativity, your prostate is your womb space, and that is also your emotions and where your hormones is connected to. So for the men is what I'm saying. Okay. So I'll be talking about that also as well next month. I'll be sharing certain things about that. So, you got to allow yourself to move through your emotions. Okay. There was a particular TikTok I came across of this one guy that was on this lady's balcony, his ex on her balcony, hiding in her storage closet room. And so she was recording him, and he was like throwing a whole like hissy fit type of energy. Like, it was very creepy. I don't know if y'all seen it, but it was very creepy. Like he was hiding out, and like he started throwing like a whole like hissy fit type of energy. And I was like, that's really scary. And so it's like, it's kind of like a little temper tantrum, to where it's like, it was giving, he was more at the age of a kid, like a grade schooler. And a lot of times when it comes to us not allowing certain things to flow, and our mental to translate in a sense here, or transmute certain energy, or integrate also as well, it keeps us at that level of where we used to be, in a sense, to where we're emotionally stuck. And that's where a lot of men are. You're emotionally stuck at certain things in your childhood. And that's why, certain men that have narcissist tendencies is because of their childhood. It's because it wasn't integrated the way it was needed to be integrated. So they're very much emotionally unavailable. They will connect with you on an emotional level, but they use your emotions against you. They have little temper tantrums. They don't know how to, regulate their emotions and their feelings, in a sense, with narcissists. It's a personality disorder. And, that has to do also as well with, like I said, childhood. Okay. So, a lot of those men, a lot of times they're stuck in a childhood mentality, because they wasn't nourished as a child. So that's just kind of the situation, unfortunately. Yeah. So that's why they act out in those like toxic tendencies, and, they have those little crash outs, and, because they don't know how to integrate it. They're still stuck in that childhood mindset, also as well. So yeah. But yeah, so allow yourself to cry. Allow yourself to really just, release. Okay. Because it feels so much better. Like I feel so much better. Like I appreciate y'all. Okay. Like I appreciate y'all holding space for me, and the kind words. I really truly do, because I needed that. But look, okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. All right. I'm gonna cry, but one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get right back up. Okay. Because it feels good, it's like, it doesn't feel good to have to, cry in the moment, but it's like after I get done crying, I feel so much lighter, in a sense, and I'll sit with that later, in regards to that emotion and that feeling. So, but yeah, allow yourself to, cry. Okay. So those that be saying, don't cry, don't tell nobody to not cry, okay? Because I'll be the one that be telling them, yeah, cry, let it out, let it go, okay? I know we are kind of used to telling people don't cry, and, and things of that nature, but I'm going to be the one to tell you to cry, all right? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, The problem is we are not vulnerable, in a sense, because our vulnerability may have been taken advantage of at points and times of our life. And, enabling to open yourself up to manifestations, or just someone in general, you have to be vulnerable. You have to open yourself up. Okay. And, a lot of people like to hide their crying. They hide themselves crying. And it's like everybody goes through it. Everybody has some sort of hurt, some sort of pain that we've been through, and it's like, and everybody wants to be on social media and act as if it's just like, oh, my life is so perfect and I'm never crying, and, I'm a G, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, we can show every other emotion but, crying, like vulnerability of, being in a space to where you're hurt. And it's like all that time, people talking down on people when they're crying, like, I could never get up on camera and just sit here and just cry, or, show myself crying. Like I've never just could pick up the phone. And I talk about this a lot, because it's like, you never know like what someone's going through. You never know what someone doesn't have around them. Some people don't have people to talk to, and it's like maybe their social media platform, they was able to, keep themselves at bay, in a sense, to where maybe that person was actually thinking about committing suicide. And it's like they decided to get up on social media, and that one person that said something, that was very much, heartfelt, they was like, you know what? I'm not going to commit suicide today because actually there was a piece of love of me being vulnerable, of someone actually sitting here telling me that, hey, life is still purpose. Life is still good. You'll get through it, whatever the case may be. So it's like, what's the point in, trying to make fun of people that do express their emotions and their feelings? And then you wonder why we have a community full of people that are not vulnerable, a community full of people that can literally see certain things going on in their society. And it's just kind of like, oh, well, let me just scroll. It has nothing to do with me, or whatever the case may be. Like, are you really serious? Like, do we not see what's going on in society right now? And it's like, it's never an issue until it actually hits your own home, until it hits you. Okay. Exactly. It's actually never an issue until it actually hits your home, until you get hit with that. Okay. So it's like, it's just one of those things to have more compassion. And that is exactly what is going on with Divine Mother. Ashe, with these blocked heart energy, you're blocked off in your heart space. You're blocked off your emotions. And that has to do with a lot of betrayal energy. Spirit done turned off the music. Okay. Because it was meant to be heard at this time. It's like we're moving with Divine Mother, and Divine Mother has awakened, and Divine Mother is coming back to nourish the energy. It's coming back to nourish what has been lost at this time, okay, in this patriarchy world, to where they have cut us off from that energy and that nourishment and that that compassion energy also as well. Okay. And it's like a lot of people, we have it in us, we have it in us, just that we just need to start acting upon it. Everybody's so worried about being seen as soft or vulnerable, to where, you just ain't able to express yourself or be, in that energy of compassion. You got to be so strong, and you got to be so, whatever the case may be. Like, it's just, that's not what it is. If you are truly going through your spiritual awakening, if you are truly going in your divine feminine energy, and if you are truly stepping into your divine masculine energy, that is the key piece, is that vulnerability. It's the key piece. So if you are in a space to where you're not expressing yourself, you're not in that vulnerability, you're not opening your heart space, you're still stuck in that energy to where you're not integrating, in a sense. You're not integrating with the divine flow. Okay. Because one thing about a spiritual awakening, it ain't just all about, the conspiracy theories. It's not just all about being awakened to being out of the matrix type of energy. That's just not what it is about being, awakened. That's not what it is, and, when I was speaking on spiritual bypassing, one thing that you need to do is definitely tap into that shadow work energy, tapping in with your shadow. Sitting with yourself, tapping back to that childhood, because your childhood shows and shapes and molds for who you are today. And it's like, that's, before I even got into cards and got into anything of that nature of my spiritual, sense, I was doing shadow work. I was literally going to therapy, I was journaling all about my childhood. I've been in that energy, and I still do till this day, so it's like, I'm not someone who is like, oh, I did the work, what I'm saying? I got my gifts and blah, blah, blah. So I'm here now, and I still literally do the work. I still do shadow work every single Sunday. I do shadow work because it's just something that continues to integrate me, and it's something that keeps me out of, that ego state also as well, or being in that energy of, embracing more of the dark, in a sense, in me, to where I stand more in my light, because I don't let my darkness, in a sense, cover me. Okay. Now I am balanced. Okay. I am balanced. So some days I might be about that gang, and then some days I'm like, on that sweet energy. Okay. All right, let's get into the messages at this time. So accountability. All right. And what space and what time are you needing to, take that accountability at this time? Okay. If you're in certain situations that that you didn't want to be in, or that just kind of, in a space to where you was hurt, but you continue to stay, it's like, why did you continue to stay? That's a question that you want to ask. That's where you got to take accountability, in a sense here. We're not all perfect. The Sun. Yeah, betrayal and the Five of Pentacles. Yeah. So like I said, there's, in a space to where do you sacrifice your own happiness is what I'm picking up on. Okay, I got the chills really bad. But where do you sacrifice your own happiness? All right. Where do you sacrifice your own joy? For, whether that's people pleasing, doing things that you just don't necessarily want to do. Like there was a point, thank you, Golden. There's a point to where I had to be like, I was like, for instance, you don't want to go to that function, and it's kind of just one of those things to where it's like, you feel like you need to go because you're the only, like, for instance, I'll give an example. Okay. For me, like, I felt like I was, for instance, my dad's side. Okay. I was the only sibling that would show up to like the Thanksgivings and all that other type of stuff. I was the only one that was showing up, and I had, my other siblings don't live in the same state, but there was a couple that lived in the same state. Okay. So, I was the only one that was showing up in a sense. And that got really tiring to me. Okay. Like, it's like, I'm the only one showing up, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, there was times where I didn't even want to show up, but I was like, let me go because I know my other siblings aren't going, type of energy. And, I had to step back from that because I was like, you know what? I don't want to go. And it's like, I don't really want to go, I don't feel like going. I don't want to. And it's like, I had to be like, all right, let me stop people pleasing, to where like, let me just not go. Let me just go ahead and say no type of energy. And it's like, when you say no and people get to being like, oh, why aren't you coming? Why this and this and that, or just get to questioning you and all this other type of shit. And that right there started really kind of making me annoyed because it's like, do y'all question the other people that don't actually come as much as y'all question me? Like type of energy. And it's like, no, y'all don't. So it's like, y'all are used to those people not coming. So it's like, so why is it an issue with me not being around, So it's like, that's that energy of kind of people pleasing, to where it's like, let me please you because it's like everybody else is not coming. But it's like, if I do not feel like I want to come, then I don't have to come. And there shouldn't be no backlash in regards to that. That's just, okay, we'll see you another time, type of energy. Or I wish you was here type of energy. That's the same thing that I felt when I was in church. Like it's like when I would go to church, like they would always mention like, oh, we missed you on Sunday. Where was you at Sunday? Come here. What da 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 da. Oh, you wasn't here 2 Sundays ago. Oh yeah, you should have been here that Sunday. And it's just like, shut the fuck up. Okay. Like I just got to the point where I was like, I'm not coming any Sunday now type of energy because it's just like, I mean, damn, like, I'm sorry that I didn't come every single Sunday. Maybe I had some shit to do. I had a client, like, or I was tired, or I just didn't want to go, like, or I had church at home, like, type of energy, and, also as well, they'd be like, oh, well, how are you going to have church at home, and it's like, because I have church at home. So that's why I had to really kind of get out of, that energy of going to church, because they just was too judgmental. Okay, too judgmental, and I'm just not with it. It should never feel like that. Exactly. Yeah, you are the church. Exactly. So the people are the ones that make the church, not the building. Because my own home can be my own sanctuary. I'm the altar. So it's like we are our own altars. We are our own sanctuary. Also as well. Okay, yeah, Ashe. All right, thank you, Spirit. Thank you for tapping in. Be God source energy. Okay. All right, tap into the messages. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, like it's an illusion. Like that's an illusion. Spirit says that's an illusion there. Like that is literally an illusion. Ooh, the truth, Spirit said. Ooh wee. Okay. Don't play with it. All right. Let's see what's going on in the energy, Spirit. Messages right now for the collective. Show me more. Yeah. So like I said, in regards to your happiness, okay, in what space do you need to take accountability? In what space do you need to draw your energy back? Okay. So like I said, it was like the energy was what makes you happy, or where do you sacrifice your own happiness, So it's like, yeah, celebrations, partying, being with everybody, being around people, whatever the case may be, but it's like you sometimes are sacrificing your own happiness just to make other people feel some type of way, or feel, whatever type of way that they feel, in a sense here. And it's like, you need to draw that energy back. You need to pull your energy back type of energy. You need to, go ahead and take some time for you. Okay. So that doesn't have to always be family. That can be also being in a relationship. That can be your friendships, kind of creating those boundaries also as well. You shouldn't be tiring yourself out, in order to make other people happy of their own lives. Point blank period. Most of the time, those people don't have nothing to do. I don't answer my phone every day. So it's like, some people would feel some type of way that I'm not answering my phone. And it's like, sometimes I don't even have the capacity to even have the conversation. Like, sometimes it's just like, I'm so much, like, got so much going on mentally to where it's just like, I don't even feel like talking. Like, and then it's like, even texting, like, oh my God, it takes too much to text sometimes. Like, I don't even have that energy. Okay. Like, and that has to do with our environment. Like, the way things are, a lot of us are very overstimulated. And it's like, oh, well, I see you online and everything like that, blah, 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 blah. And that's why I turn off all those notifications. Like, it's like, show that I'm online. Absolutely not. Okay. Absolutely not. Do not show that green light that I'm online. Okay. Because then people see you online, then they get the message and, hey, how's it going? Like, no, leave me alone. Like, leave me alone. And then it's like, how you'll have those times where it's like, you in the car, you on your way home, and it's like, I'll go ahead and have a conversation while I'm in the car, So it's like, I'm driving home, I'll go ahead and have a conversation, but it's like, once I hit that driveway to where I'm at home now, I don't want to talk anymore. Like, you missed the window. I'm sorry you didn't answer the phone. You missed the window here. Okay? So it's just one of those things, It's just too much going on in the energy and in society, that, I just don't be wanting to take on all that energy, and most of the times those people don't even want nothing. Like, it'd be different if you actually have like healthy conversations with those people, to where it's like, you can't wait to talk to them in general, because it's like, there's some people where it's like, well, I ain't gonna say some people. There was a particular person that I actually really enjoyed talking to. But, to where it's like, oh yeah, I'll answer your call, or I'll talk to you for sure, type of energy. But it's like, and then it's like, but you'll answer their call, but you won't answer my call. It's like, because I like talking to this person. Like, I like the communication. I like what we talk about. It's something to where it makes me feel good, we talking about a little bit of high vibrational things. We ain't talking about the stuff that you've been talking about for years now. We're not gossiping, type of energy. Who did this? Such and such did that. Did you see this? Da, 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 da. Like, I don't have time to gossip about anybody. Like, every now and then I like a little tea. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then I'm like, who, what? You said what? Who was doing what? Whatever the case may be, Damn, they going through it. They got their car got repoed. It's like, I'll listen to that just a little, every once in a while. Like, I do want a little tea sometimes, But it's like, on an everyday basis, or every other day, or just weekly, or just kind of keeping up with the Joneses, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't want to know what the fuck they going on. I do not want to know. Exactly. You should stay in your own lane. Like, it's like, mind your business. And it's like, that's what I've definitely like noticed with social media. It's like, social media be in people's business, like, to the point to where it's like detective mode. Like, it just be like, y'all should really kind of go out for being a detective. Like, you really should think about, pursuing that, because the way that certain people be so worried about people's relationships, and that person may not even be as, worried about it. Like, for instance, the whole thing about Desmond and Christy, like, get out of their business. Like, we get it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, get out of their business, though. It's not that deep. Like, certain people, and then as far as people go to where they will go threatening that person, it's like, is it that serious? Like sending death threats to their family, like pulling certain things up. Like, it's just like, it's really not that deep. Like, it's really not that deep, okay? Like, some people be too invested in other people's, energy and other people's lives to where it's like, you should invest that energy into yourself. You wonder why you're not in the space that you want to be and where you need to be is because you're too invested in somebody else's energy. Like, and it's like, invest all that energy. That's a waste of energy. Like, invest that into yourself. Like, literally. I just be like, oh my God, the world is crazy. Like, I just be like, good golly. Like, I don't know. So mind your business, all right? Mind your business and do you at this time, okay? Like, even telling people that you ain't got time to listen to that right now, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a distraction. That's a heavy distraction. And that's the problem with society is distractions. We have distraction after distraction after distraction. And, that's all they need, on social media is to distract us. That's all they need. If you can keep everybody distracted, people will not be focused on awakening. People will not be focused on, tapping back into themselves. People will not be focused on coexisting with each other and building our community, and healing our community type of energy. So it's like, focus on everything else outside of ourselves. Then of course we're going to be having people that are just, focused everywhere else besides where we need to be focused at. Okay. Mind the business that pays you. Let's see. What else here? All right, Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. So it's like Knight of Pentacles also as well. So what I was speaking on earlier in regards to some of you that may be getting more, ideas in regards to creation and creating at this time. Like I said, it requires for you to be in that solitude. It requires for you to pull back your energy because, where your attention goes, your energy flows. Okay. So it's like, it requires you to pull your energy back so that you can go ahead and start tapping into that energy and have that abundance that you are wanting at this time. So some of you, if you're wanting to build, on your business or start a business, or, you're in entrepreneurship or just in general to where it's like you just kind of want to focus on your goals, that takes time for you to pull back at this time. Okay, that's where you're going to be more abundant, to where, you can really kind of focus on yourself instead of being distracted by everything else. Okay. Yeah. And like I said, some of this is kind of like that slow and steady, kind of energy. Don't have these expectations of, it needs to come next month. It needs to come the month after, or whatever the case may be. Or I need this in 2 weeks type of energy. Okay. Show me more. What's this Four of Pentacles here for? What's this Four of Pentacles here for? Yeah, exactly. Because like I said, you got to pull your energy back from people that are just not really, they're deceitful. They're, you can't fully trust them type of energy also as well. It's like they're sneaky, it's like, you feel on the fence with those people type of energy also as well. Okay. So yeah, so some of you are being shown what to do at this time because you can't fully trust certain people that may be around you. All right. And you may be blindsided of that. So that's the reason why you're needing to come back to yourself so that you can see it. Show me what else here in this energy for the collective. Yeah, this could be a masculine. I could be talking to a masculine. Heavy Aries energy has been coming out. So yeah, this could be a masculine, or some of you need to be careful about a certain particular masculine for the feminines here. Okay. But yes, like I said, a lot of you masculines right now are, going through certain cycles because it's time to change. It's time to shift. When I sit here and because I don't really like to be involved in looking at the news or, what's going on in society. I kind of keep to myself nowadays, in regards to looking at what's going on in the world because it's too overwhelming, especially with me being able to feel the energy of others. So, it's a little bit tough to deal with. But the whole situation in regards to the ICE agents, and what's going on with immigrants and that such, is very fucking horrible, okay? Very fucking horrible. And you know, some of the videos that I've been seeing is very horrifying also as well. Like, just imagine being ripped away from your home, or from school, or from your job, and your people don't know exactly where you're at. You know, you could be fucking dead, whatever the fucking case may be. And it's just like, it's absolutely horrible to continue to see this going on. And where was I going with this energy? I can't even remember where I was going with this energy. Spirit will bring it back to me. Anyways, let me go ahead and go back into this message here. What else with this message here? Spirit will bring it back. Page of Wands. So yeah, so some of you are getting protected here. Yeah, it's like there's something here to where, yeah, exactly. So it's like there's confusion or whatever it is that you have to, you know, pull back here, okay? This illusion type of energy with the Magician being in the reverse here. It's like your manifestations, if you're trying to kick off certain manifestations, but your mind is not clear, you're not clear in innocence here also as well. It's like Spirit is showing you exactly like it's here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, here's the cup. Here's the offer. Here's the, you know, the creation in a sense. Here's the, you know, the download in your mind here. But it's like when you're too much in this energy of being in this clouded energy, it's not going to work out. Are you doing private reads today? Yeah. I am. So yeah, so it's like, you know, so this is the energy of pulling back at this time and really kind of focusing on you. Okay. Show me what else. Someone's a Cancer. I keep picking up on a Cancer energy. Yeah, the Empress and the Emperor energy. So this is, you know, divine feminine, divine masculine energy. All right. 333 can be significant. 444 can be significant also as well. But this is a divine pair. So some of you are preparing for union. All right. This is not for everybody on who's preparing for union. Some of you still have certain cycles that you need to close out. And also some of you have to tap more into that self-love energy before you even attract a divine person. Okay. A lot of times when you are watching certain, you know, readings, and it's like sometimes it may resonate with you. In a sense to where it's like, yeah, it's resonate. Yeah, I'm attracting a partner, blah, 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 blah. If you have not done any type of inner work, if you don't even see your own value, you're not necessarily attracting a divine counterpart. I will be the reader to tell you that. Okay. So that's why I don't always go off of collective readings, because when I'm reading a collective, it's multiple energies. It's not just one particular energy in a sense. Okay. So I could be talking to only 3 people out of this collective, or I could be talking to 5 people. And then a point in time when I'm talking about certain things, it could be a whole 24 people, you know, so it's like, it just all depends. So it's like, you know, sometimes just always solely going off of collective energies and not booking a personal, you can live in that Delulu land. Okay. And a lot of people won't tell you that. So it's like you over here waiting for a divine counterpart, and the whole time you're attracting a karmic energy because you're still in karmic energy. Okay. I got you. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, that keeps you in that delusion, you know, energy, you know, if you have not done any type of, you know, self-care, self-work on yourself, or just in general value in yourself. Okay. Also as well, if you still find yourself being in, you know, toxic relationships, that's not, you know, you attracting a divine counterpart. Okay. If you still find yourself overcompensated, you know, in a sense to where you're allowing certain situations instead of you choosing yourself, then you're still attracting certain situations. Okay. Exactly. Okay. It's not saying that you can't have this happiness. It's not saying that you can't have that divine counterpart, but it's like, you know, don't allow yourself to get caught up in the delusions, okay, of thinking that you may be still, you know, attracting it, but you can't even, you know, go within. You can't even, you know, be in this energy of seeing the light within you, all right? And a lot of people, what I've noticed with society, a lot of people just like the fact that people feed their delusions. You know, it's just something that keeps them in that fantasy land. It's something that keeps them kind of feeling good. Like, yeah, you know, type of energy. And it's like, you know, I don't say that as in, you know, looking down at anyone, because I've been there also as well. Okay. There was a time where I thought that the person that I was dealing with before, you know, that I was with for some time, I thought that they was my actual counterpart, my divine counterpart. The whole time they was karmic. You know, that was a lesson for me to learn. And I learned that lesson. So it's like, you know, now I'm single. I've been single for 3 years now. And so at that time, how could that person be my divine counterpart? Exactly. Legacy energy. How could that person be my divine counterpart if I was allowing certain situations to happen and not necessarily choosing myself or even seeing my worth? If I was downsizing myself or downgrading myself also as well to be with that person, you know, how could I be in that situation of being with a divine counterpart? A divine counterpart is a true soul partner. So whether that is, you know, your actual true twin flame or a true soulmate. And so the way for those counterparts to come together is doing the soul work, doing this, you know, the self-care, self-love energy, all right, for yourself. Closing out certain karmic cycles that are meant to be closed out. A lot of people are just with people just to be in relationship. Yeah, they don't abandon you. They don't make you question yourself type of energy, you know. And it's like certain things may be kind of, you know, on the rise because, of, you know, we're not all perfect in a sense. But, you know, it's not a toxic relationship. It's not someone who's going to manipulate you in a sense or keep you mentally manipulated or, you know, physical abuse type of energy or emotional abuse type of energy. They're not going to be having you in secret competition with other women also as well. Or, you know, that type of, you know, energy. A divine masculine is not going to have you in competition with any other woman. Point blank period. He's going to choose you. And that's why the divine feminine doesn't chase, she attracts. So if you feel yourself overextending as a woman, feminine, divine feminine energy, if you feel yourself overextending for a man, that's not the man for you at this time. And it's not saying that he's completely not for you, but it's not the man for you at this time type of energy. So it's like, you know, you got to check in with yourself. You know, am I kind of putting forth too much energy into this, you know, in regards to this man? Or is this man actually, you know, reciprocating type of energy? The man pursues, you know, the masculine pursues. A man is naturally a hunter in a sense. Men naturally hunt. You know, they're naturally protective also as well. Protection is not just on the physical. You know, energy also as well. It's not just on the physical. That man has to protect you spiritually. How do they protect you spiritually? By not out here having sex and sleeping with all these other women type of energy. That protects your energy also as well. So it's like, you know, that protects you spiritually. Because, you know, like I said, we pick up on other people's energy through soul ties. But yeah, if you find yourself overextending for a man, you know, you feel like you kind of not necessarily trying to you know, be in competition, but there's other women that may be trying to, you know, be in the running for that man also as well. If the man is emotionally unavailable, if he's not available for you emotionally, doesn't understand you as a woman or whatever the case may be, doesn't care to your needs also as well, that's not the man for you, or it's not the man at this time. He gotta do what he need to do. And, you know, naturally, a man repels a woman who is chasing him. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So for the masculines, if you have a woman that is not emotionally unavailable to you, she's someone who is like, oh, crying is for females, or, you're a little bit too sensitive, or, she's not necessarily in that nurturing energy and that divine feminine energy to where I nurture you when you have those times. It's all about money or whatever the case may be. That's not the right feminine for you. It's not, because a woman in her divine feminine energy, the Empress, she doesn't chase, she attracts also as well. Okay. And she's very fertile. So it's like, it's not fertile in regards to just having a baby. It's fertility as in creation, creativity. So that's why you can't take her energy on to other people in a sense, because it's not what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. It's not in alignment. All right. So it's like, when they say when a man has a woman, he multiplies. A woman can multiply what you got. So it's like, for instance, when they kept saying, oh, a man asking what you bring to the table instead of just, whatever the case may be, it's kind of valid in a sense, because it's like, the woman, the divine feminine, brings to the table herself, because she's going to help you multiply. It's like, oh, for instance, a man has a plan in regards to, I have an idea, what I'm saying? I want to kind of make certain moves in regards to this type of business or whatever the case may be. The woman's going to multiply it because she's divinely connected to spirit. So it's like, she's going to see those things that man can't see in a sense spiritually. Also as well, when it comes to a woman, a lot of times she gonna peep out who your fake friends are. She's gonna peep out who your fake friends are, who's around you just to mooch off of you, or whatever the case may be. There was a interview that ASAP Rocky did, and he was pretty much talking about how when Rihanna came into his life, about that in a sense, to where he was like, yeah, that's not really truly your friend, and and you see how he just be locked in with just her type of energy, like that's how okay, that's how it's not saying that you can't have friends or whatever the case may be outside of it, but it's like, a woman is going to level you up in a sense, especially, emotionally. When you see men that, they may have never taken care of their skin, and it's like now all of a sudden they got a woman that be doing face masks on them, and it's like now he want to take care of his skin, or, a man that only was eating TV dinners type of energy, or he was only, eating certain, out to eat and fast food all the time. Now she got me drinking chlorophyll water. She got me over here doing the lemonade or, homemade milk. I don't drink cow's milk anymore. I drink nut milk type of energy. It's like, a lot of times when you hear healthier men, divine masculines, a lot of times that woman up leveled them. So it's like, if you have a woman that is not up leveling you, in a sense, to where when it comes to your mental state, when it comes to your health, your emotional state, or whatever the case may be, more of the time that woman is not for you. Okay. She's not really for you. But you also got to have, when it comes to masculines, they got to be open. So it's like, if that man is not open to changing certain things of himself, it's not really the time, or it's not the person for you in a sense. They got to be open also as well. That's why I talk about it a lot in regards to women, and the things that men say in regards to women of, just only wanting money and only wanting finances, or just will do anything for money. It's very much valid. It's very much valid. Money shouldn't control you. Money shouldn't rule you also as well. If the price is right type of energy, it shouldn't rule you. That's a tampered version of a feminine, and that's just the truth, and a lot of women don't want to hear that, but that's really the truth of it all. That's the matter of it all. When it comes to a man, a true divine masculine, he wants to pour into a woman. He's a natural provider. He's a natural leader. So it's like, you shouldn't even have to really ask a man to really provide for you, because at the end of the day, he want to do it in general, because you pour back into me. You take care of me type of energy. So it's like, damn, I want to send her some money today, type of energy, because she done maybe a little nice little plate or whatever case may be, or, she done told me some things that kind of nourished my mind when I was stressed out and I was going through things. If a man can't even talk to his own woman and be vulnerable, it's like, what exactly are you doing as the divine feminine? What exactly are you doing? If he's afraid that you will judge him in a sense, or, not see him as a man, what exactly are you doing as a divine feminine? You got to ask yourself that. Okay. And like I said, if that man is not open to being vulnerable, that is his own issue, to where it's like he can't even come to you, but you're allowing that space for him. That's his own issue. That's not your issue. That's something that he needs to tap into, his vulnerability. He's not necessarily ready to be in a relationship then, because we have to be vulnerable with each other. We have to know what's going on with each other. Okay. Spirit says that's the truth, Ashe. Okay. I can't make it up. All right. Thank you, Spirit. So it's like, that's an illusion, being outside of that energy. Like I said, people just being in that energy of being in a relationship, just to be in a relationship, just to say that I have a marriage or I have a person type of energy. We're here to coexist. We're here to co-create. We're here to make each other better. So it's like, the whole, certain things can have certain labels to them in a sense, to where it's like, you may do more of the cooking, or, he does more of the hard labor type of energy. So it's like, those is there, but it's like, sometimes we have to shift in a sense, say for instance, your man lost his job, and it's like, now you got to kind of put in a little bit more of that work, type of energy, instead of being so upset at the fact that, I need your money type of energy. It's like, it's kind of just one of those things. A man wants to know that someone's going to be there, and not just there for the materialistic gain. A man that knows that a woman is there for him and not just for the materialistic gain is a man who is going to provide. Okay. That man's going to provide naturally. Don't no man want no chaotic woman. Point blank, period. Okay. Show me what else here. 222 is very significant. All right. 222 is very significant. All right. I'm going to do a quick message here, a quick T message to see what's going on in the energy of what you guys need to pull back from at this time. And I'm going to go ahead and start my personals. So we just indulging in sorcery. Oh yeah, I'm a sorceress. All right. Big magician energy, baby. Big magician energy. Thank you for the roses. All right. What is the need to know messages for the collective at this time surrounding the things that they're needing to release at this time? False narrative and opposition. Okay. So some of you could be running into certain people or have certain people around you that are clearly the op. Okay. So it's people with masks on. All right. Show me what else. What else do I need to know? Yeah, unbothered. Let's see. What else here? So some of you just may not even give a fuck about this energy. Okay. Some of your gifts could be showing this also as well, to where they're showing you exactly where the manipulation is. Some of you masculines are under manipulation. Okay. Some of you divine masculines are under some sort of manipulation type of energy. You may have certain people that are kind of being manipulative in their words and the way they, kind of speak in a sense, to keep you in that karmic loop. Okay. Because karma's on the bottom of the deck and flying monkeys. So like I said, this is like close proximity, close people that you keep around you that kind of, manipulate that mental within you. Okay. At this time. And so you need to tap back into yourself. Okay. Like I said, we've been talking about this in regards to tapping back into yourself so that you can understand, when you're being manipulated and when you ain't. All right. Exactly. Intuitive Kev. All right. The man with his intuition. All right. So it's like you need to tap back into your intuition at this time. Okay. If you've been feeling clouded and foggy and you don't know how to make your decision makings, you know, a man is a divine masculine holds his structure. You know, a divine masculine, you know, is about his order. He's protective, you know, spiritually and physically in a sense here also as well. Okay. He knows how to take direction. Yeah. Like I said, community. All right. So it's like, it's the community that's around you. If you got to continue to outsource yourself, you know, and you don't necessarily stand on your own 2 feet in a sense, you know, then you got to, you know, you need to take some time. Yeah, exactly. Confirmation. All right. Mental abuse. All right. Flying monkeys. So it's like, you know, people around you, if you're too influenced is what I'm picking up on. You know, if you're too influenced by, you know, other people, peer pressure type of energy, you know, you're not in that energy. Yeah. Death magic. Exactly. It's like, you know, that's putting it into your manifestations. Like, you shouldn't be easily influenced. You shouldn't be easily tempted. You know, so some of you may need to work on your temptation energy. You know, are you easily tempted? Can somebody just come up to you and tempt you easily? You know, or can you use that discernment? You know, can you have that backbone within yourself to you know, not fall into the temptation type of energy? You know, one thing I've always said is when it comes to that temptation energy, you know, one thing I've always said is I was like, if a woman was completely naked, you know, and she was very attractive, you know, and it's like very attractive, you know, that's your type. That's my type, baby. That's my type. Okay. If my man is in a room and it's like, you know, maybe I wouldn't never even know in my lifetime, you know, maybe he out of town, you know, whatever the case may be, I'm out of town, taking my rounds, my coochie pink, my booty hole brown. Okay. So if my man was in a space to where I probably would never know, okay, type of energy, and it's like you got a very attractive woman, she take her clothes off in front of you, hey, say for instance she end up kissing you, grazing you, whatever the case may be, I want my man to be able to literally just walk outside that door, like, don't disrespect me like that type of energy. Like, hey, you very attractive, but it's like I got a woman and I'm very much committed to my woman type of energy. If you can sustain that type of energy and that temptation, baby, throw baby. Okay, I'm trying to give it to you. All right, period. Exactly. Rising stars and karma. Okay, exactly. It's like it's the path. Okay, it's definitely the pathway. All right, so it's like some of you may need to clear out this karmic energy because it's like you don't even see how much you could really rise for real. You don't really see how much you could actually really have because you're too busy being manipulated by women, you know, or being manipulated by the homeboys and the type of energy to where it keeps you in that lower energy. Okay. But yeah, like, okay. Message came out also as well. Okay. So yeah, like I said, some of you may be receiving some sort of message through your spirit team here. Surrounding people that are around you. Yeah, love spell energy. Okay. Like I said, dealing with certain particular women that can, you know, pull that temptation energy from you. Okay. Yeah, voodoo, expectation, and chakras. It's like you're unaligned in a sense. Okay. And it's like, and you still have an expectation of certain things to come in. But it's like you, like I said, you two used to being under that illusion energy. Okay. But you have an expectation and it's like realign your chakras, come back to yourself. All right. Yeah. Running with these false narratives. All right. You're running off a false version of yourself also as well, because you're allowing people exactly lust. It's like you're running off a false version of yourself because you're too much tapped into this lust energy. Step into that divine masculine energy. Okay. Nobody should be able to manipulate you to take your own energy here. Okay. Certain people can be very manipulative and it's like but the thing is you should be able to see through that. You know, you should be able to see through that manipulation. If you don't, it was a lesson in a sense here also as well. We're not perfect. You know, we don't always get things spot on. Even I don't. Okay. But it's like one of those things to where you know that the more you continue to tap in with yourself, the more you continue to stay straight and narrow with you. Okay. And pouring into yourself in the way that you should. All right. Shout out to the ancestors, Ashe. But you know, the more you continue to do so, the more you'll be in alignment, the more you'll feel more successful, the more you feel more fulfilled. All right. All that energy of lustful energy and going to go, dumping all these other type of women or whatever the case may be, you still feel unfulfilled. Like it was good for then, for the time being, but it's like you still feel unfulfilled inside because you're not even fulfilling the masculine energy in you, which is that protector, also as well. Thank you, Spirit, for bringing it back to me. Okay. So like I was saying, back to the ICE agents and the immigrants and all of that such, and whatever case may be, women being, taken from certain situations or dealing with certain men who, is, abusive, where's the masculines at? Where's the protection at? Where's the covering in regards to us in a sense? Because it's like if certain things was to go in flames, some of you men are too worried about arguing with the woman. Like, and it's like, when are we going to get it to where it's like we are not each other's enemies? Like, when are we going to get it here? Okay. Because conflict. Exactly. I can't make it up because it's just like we're continuously sitting here in this hate train of you do this, you do that, you do this, you do that. Women are this, women are that, blah, blah. And it's like, don't nobody got time for that type of energy because it's like push comes to shove, we're dealing with shit that's bigger than this. Okay. Bigger than the plan, bigger than us or whatever the case may be. And it's like, and we need our protectors. We need our protectors. We need our men. There's so many women that may, go through, rape and abuse and all that type of shit through just taking an Uber, and it's like, if you think about it, if we had more men that were protectors, in a sense, then more men that are, in that type of energy wouldn't be so brave in a sense, wouldn't be so, out in the open with it. But see, since they have a whole big ass community, of men that are like this, that's why it's so easy because a lot of the protectors or the real divine masculines stay behind the scenes. It's time for y'all to speak up. It's time for y'all to, step in a sense here also as well. Our young boys also as well, our teenage boys are getting worse and worse by the day. What do they call them? Youngins, YNs, or whatever the case may be. Young niggas or whatever the fuck they are. Okay. They're getting worse and worse by the day. All right. Do you see what's going on in society? Like, we have to really wake up. And it's because they don't have any type of direction. They need direction. They need to see what a man is, a true man is, a true divine masculine is. So it's like you need to set that example. A lot of these men are running around, or young boys are running around with no fathers. And it's like, it's just repeating the pattern to where it's like the man is not in the house. The man is not available. The man is not there. The man is not showing the initiative. The man is not showing the protection. Okay. And it's like, we got to do better here. All right. Ashe, we got to do better here. It's too much abusive situations. But it's like whole time we need the divine masculine. All right. Intuitive. All right. Tapped in with their energy here also as well. And like I said, Mr. Nice Guy type of energy. We don't need those type of men, that are out here being abusive. That was the message. Okay. All right. I'm going to tap into my personal. So that was a message for today. I'll be back on here later on. If you want to get a personal, exactly, ascension. All right. It's time to ascend. All right. Exactly. It's time to ascend. What's that poking out? Money and also manifestation. All right. Ashe. That's great to close it with. Ascending and manifestations. All right. Tapping into that light energy within you. Actually, I'm going to pull a couple of other cards real quick. Clarity messages. Clarity here for the collective. It says adapt to transformation. Ashe. Okay. Vortex of change. Adapting to transformation. It says here, engage with the vortex of change where energies swirl in transformative dances, molding anew. Okay. So adapt to the transformation. Don't go against the transformation. If you're being led to go down a certain path, allow it to flow. Allow it to go. All right. Whatever needs to go, let it go. Confirmation for the collective. Answers are unfolding. Make a change. Turn the page. Be here now. Ashe, higher wisdom. Okay. Period. All right. Answers are unfolding at this time. If you feel like you've been stuck, you don't really have the answers, those answers are starting to unfold. Okay. Keep your mind open and be willing to learn from this experience. All right. We go through experiences to learn from our experiences. If you're not learning from your experiences and you keep on repeating the same pattern, you're staying in that South Node energy. You're staying in your karmic energy until you learn the lesson. So you will continue to attract the same type of things, same type of energy, whether that's a person, place, or thing, or whatever the case may be, just in a different body, just in different font type of energy. Okay? So, allow those answers to unfold also as well, and learn from the lesson. If it's not working for you, if it's not something that you are in an energy to where, you're happy with your situation, let me take some time to recuperate. Let me take some time to go within. Why am I not happy in this situation? What is the lesson here? What am I experiencing that I'm not kind of noticing? Why do I keep attracting the same type of feminine or the same type of man? Why do I keep on trying to, keep on attracting these type of friendships or these type of whatever the case may be, okay? Be here now. The only way you can do that is being still. The only way you can do that is being in the present moment, okay? It's taking time to yourself. Practice mindfulness to be present in the moment and gain insight. I'm gonna read that again. Practice mindfulness to be present in the moment and gain insight. Okay, Ashe? And then higher wisdom. All right, zoom in. Okay, at this time, like I said, taking that time to really kind of ask yourself the questions, taking that time to really kind of understand yourself. Also as well to zoom in on certain things that you may not understand. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is key. I will say that every single time on my channel. All right, so explore options, learn what you can, and expand your horizons. If you still in that same box, if you still kind of running off the old program, or that old iOS system or whatever the case may be, it's time for you to upgrade certain things within yourself at this time. Okay, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. All right, not just on the physical masculines. All right, tap into that spirituality, and tap into your also mental state also as well, in your emotional state. Okay, it all has to align together. Adaptive transformation again on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so you're being transformed at this time. Okay, certain things want to shift, but it all, we all have free will. So it's like spirit can send you all the signs. Spirit can be like, oh, signs here, blah, 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 downloads here. But, it takes us to go ahead and take the initiative to do what we need to do, so we can allow that transformation, so we can allow certain things to happen. You can't unlock certain doors until you go through a certain particular door. Okay. All right, y'all. Happy Wednesday. Have a wonderful day. Studio, where are you at? Let me see if anyone else sent for a personal. If you missed the message will be posted, okay, on my page. Peace and love, y'all. Thank you guys for the likes. I appreciate it. Bye. You want a private reading? I think I still have the 3333 special or 3030 special for the 30 minutes on my page. It's in my bio. I don't think I took it down yet. I release the collective's energy cleansed and purified and amplified to my highest light. I command back all of my energy cleansed and purified and amplified to my highest light. Ashe. Gratitude, spirit. Cleanse the energy. Ashe. Okay, send me a DM so I can get your phone number so I can go ahead and give you a call. If anyone else wants to get a personal reading off of live, the link is in the bio. So there is spots that are available. Thank you for the follows, the likes, and the shares, and the gifts. I appreciate it, y'all. Okay, all right. I'll go ahead and message you. Bye, y'all.